yet another inspirational session of Time to Shine, Break the Bias series. This is your host, Ruxar Sayed, and today I'm in conversation with Laura Carballo. She's a spiritual healer, a spiritual coach, and a life coach. So let's dive into her journey and know more about her, her teachings, and what she has learned from her entire life. Yes, Laura, welcome on my show, and I'm so glad to connect with you today.
Hello, my lovely Roxanne. Thank you very much for having me here. It's actually a pleasure to be here with you, and thank you for the space as well.
Yeah. So, Laura, can you tell us about your early life in Argentina and what it was like growing up there?
Okay. Yeah. Growing up in Argentina, I come from there, right? So for me, it was I think it's I'm very happy to come from there, from that place. I come from the south of Argentina, where the Patagonia starts. So it's a really it's like a small city compared to Buenos Aires or big cities like Dubai as well. Even still today we have like a nap time. So if you go from 12 to 1, from 1 until 4, 5, most of the things are closed. Shops are closed. It's like back in the days.
Yes.
Yeah, so this was kind of my childhood as well. I was very in that kind of environment, very peaceful in that matter. I have like we are 7 brothers in total. So I come from a big family as well. We would spend summers with my family as well in one ranch that my father had. And so it's like a village. So there was no asphalt, there was no gas, there was it was a different life. So it was very peaceful and very slow, I would say, compared to where it is now. I have a great family who taught me, the values, important things, I would say.
Yes.
But without telling you, right? But just by example. So I got to learn a lot from them. Yeah.
Yeah. So, what inspired you then to move to the USA and later to Dubai? What came into your mind?
Yeah. What happens in the middle? Yeah, I know. So I lived there in Cipolletti. That's the name of the city. I did my high school there, my
Okay.
primary
Great.
school there. I got I met a lot of amazing teachers that they had their heart pretty open,
Wonderful.
And yeah, I think that changes you somehow even though you don't know at the time, it kind of changes you, or the way you see the world. So what
Yes.
happens is, okay, I wanted to study English and Spanish translation. So back home, you had to have a test. You had to, before you enter the university. And I failed my Spanish test, which is my language, my mother tongue. And I was like, how come? So I have a whole year, like, okay, what am I gonna do? And at the same time, have a little thirst for knowledge, for exploring life the way it is. And yeah, exactly. So I have a friend, she went to the USA to do that. And I said, yeah, let's do that. I just want to go to the USA. I want to do this au pair, program, which is an exchange program. You get to live with an American family and really get to know the culture behind, not just as a tourist, but as somebody who know what's going on, and learn about them. So that's what happened. And I remember that was in 2001 when the Twin Tower attack happened. And I remember my family was very scared. But I felt, this is where I want to go. This is where I should go. This is what, is going to make me go as well. And I went. Off I went to the USA. I spent there a whole year. And I learned so much. I was 19 years old.
So you spent there 4 years. So you spent there 4.
Yes, 1 year only.
1 year. Okay.
Yes, I spent there 1 year. I learned a lot because I was 19 years old. At that time, making big decisions, it was like, wow, you know what I mean? So I learned and I grew up a lot as well. I matured a lot. So then I went back to Argentina. I did my studies. I got my degree as translator. While studying, I learned a lot about communication, which I love communication. You have linguistics, you have the grammar, then you have like the power of the words. You learn so much.
Yes.
Yeah, and at the same time, I wanted to travel the world. I wanted to get my degree and travel the world. And then, look at this, listen to this, and this way for everybody as well. And then remember one day I was watching the TV and it was this documentary about Dubai. right? And so I was looking at it and I was like, oh man, I think it's gonna, and I think it's gonna take me like 10 years to save up to go to Dubai. That's the only thing I thought. And I continued my stuff. I was finishing my career, I was finishing my degree. So I was working at the same time. And
Okay.
then, yeah, and then I was working as translator and as over the phone interpreter. And those are very static jobs. You know, as a translator, you're behind the computer, but you're sitting down. And as over the phone interpreter, you are also in a place, you know, so you're not
Yes.
moving. And I have a lot of energy. I need to move. I need
Mm-hmm.
to keep balance. So
Yes.
then I started looking for opportunities, and I found Dubai. I found actually an airline that they were recruiting, and I was like, my God, was like,
Dubai
yes,
is a
I go.
land of opportunities. Like you will find one after the other, and there are so many things
Exactly.
to learn, so many things to, gain also. Like, so that's what this place is full of opportunities, you can say.
I totally agree with you, Roxanne. Yes, I totally
Yes.
100% agree with you. At the time, nobody knew about this and Dubai and about the airline. It was kind of something quite new. That was back 2011, 2010. But I was like, no, this is it, this is it. And my family was a little bit dubious, like, are you sure it's not like a scam? You don't ever know, many things
Yes.
happening. I just followed my heart. I was like, yeah, my gut, my intuition was like, no, this is it, go, go, go. So I started the process and I made it. And I got my degree and I made it. And the only thing I asked for was a personal experience. So,
Yes, it is
okay,
such a good thing, yeah, Laura, to keep on learning and to gain, knowledge on regular basis. So that's great that you're learning, you're keeping on, adding that
yes,
feather on your hat. So that's a great thing.
yes.
Yeah. So Laura, how did this experience change your perspective on life and your personal journey? How it has been affected on a positive level?
Okay, it's been great. What happens is, as when you ask for a personal experience, you gotta everything can be
Yes.
anything can be a personal experience. So I came here and I was one person from the very beginning that I could see very clearly patterns. Okay, this is what's happening. This is what we're bringing with us. My family, in general, I was always very into
Yes.
that, but I could see it's not that I'm looking for, but it's like, okay, you speak and then I can sense what's happening, right? And I was like, okay, I saw a lot of patterns in my family, and I saw a lot of patterns in myself as well. These patterns that doesn't allow us to move forward, to really get to know who we really are deep inside and find your divinity, find your shining inside.
Exactly. Yes.
And yeah, and so I came here and then I started to see more and more. Like, I think this place, or I asked for a personal experience. So this place allowed me to see all my patterns, all my triggers, everything that was like, no, this is not who you really are. This is, you know what I mean? It's like you have your blueprint, and as a divine blueprint is you're perfect. But we have so many layers. We carry things from, your lineage, or, maybe
Yes.
past life, if you believe in that, this
Exactly.
life, and we don't know who we are anymore. We just react maybe from that emotion, that trigger, but it's not who you are deep inside.
Yes.
So that will happen. I got to see all that. I got to do the journey and go through the journey, and allow me, that's the important thing. Allow yourself to be shown. Allow yourself to be
Exactly.
revealed without judgment, because it's a journey where it's gonna take you very deep so you can see everything. It's like a house, right? When you
Yes.
declutter, you need to go to every room. You need to see what is in every drawer, in each drawer. See what you have
Yes.
there. You have to take a stock. Otherwise, there are things hidden that you are if and that things that are hidden, they carry, or they need some kind of energy to be
Yes.
to be to be there, right? So you don't
Wonderful.
have
Yes.
the owner, yes, or your energy. So if you're not the owner of your energy all the time, you cannot really create or manifest the life you want, because there's no energy input, because it's
Yes.
busy, feeding all those triggers or wounds, or um so it was an exploration that it was I'll be honest, it was a tough and challenging journey, but I wouldn't change everything that I went through to be where I am now.
Exactly. So you have completed extensive training, in various fields such as yoga, life coaching. What motivated you to, delve into these diverse areas, like
One
exploring so
thing
many things together?
is, but yeah, it's one thing, Rosa, it's one thought. I was getting tired. Me, myself was getting tired of my own patterns, of feeling that I cannot move forward in life, emotionally speaking, financially speaking, intellectually speaking, because the thoughts were pretty much the same. And because the thoughts are the same, then your reality is the same. It's not gonna
Yes.
change. I cannot ask for
Yes.
something if I'm not manifesting with my thoughts, my emotions, and my words, right?
Yes.
I got tired. I got deeply inside, really like tired of like feeling the same way, of like going to the situations or even relationships as well, where you feel, this is always like a resistance. It's always something, and it's
Yes.
painful inside. And I said, you know what? This is it. I'm gonna go deep. I'm gonna heal as much as possible. I'm gonna heal myself. I wanna see myself clearly. That's always I always ask to my spirit guides, to source, to everybody who's with me all the time, to allow me always to see myself clearly, with with
Yes.
a raw honesty, but to see what I have inside, because otherwise I cannot move forward. I cannot release, right? And this is what it was. And so then I just start healing first on myself, seeing all the layers, the wounds from here, from childhood. I learned
Yes.
that sometimes we blame people, but blame doesn't help at all. Blame does not help us at all in anything, So it's
Exactly.
good to know what happened to you. It's good to know where it's coming from, but just for you to know, but not to look for people to blame or situations, because everything happens at the same time for a reason, whether we can see it or not.
Exactly.
So that's what happened. Yeah. And then when I finished, when I felt the first stage of healing, like the big things were kind of seen and discovered and integrated and loved again. So loving myself again
Again.
fully, then I was like, okay, I want to learn more. And because this journey is like never ending journey. You're always gonna find new
Exactly.
things.
Never ending one.
Yes, because we are limitless and we are so expansive, and we can be everything and nothing at the same time. So you're going to be you in as much as you think that this is who you are. But if you remove the label, you can be anything you ever want to be. It's just allow yourself to experience those moments where you can be that. You know what I mean? Um,
Yes.
so yeah, I learned a lot of different things. I learned one more that one of them as well is called Himalayan Kriya Yoga, which I love. I love it's about tapping your body, releasing emotions, releasing thoughts, fear that is stagnant or that is in our body. Our body
Mm-hmm.
carries a lot of memory and also carries a lot of
Mm-hmm.
emotions. It gets stored in
Exactly.
the body. So we need to remove. And so I realized I love working with energy. I love working in the quantum with energy, assisting. You're gonna come, let's have a conversation, let's do a healing session, let's talk, let's hear yourself at the end of the day, And I started that journey and I love every time I have a customer. I don't want to say customer, actually, it's another human being. I feel such a sacredness inside and you know, humbleness. I feel humble to be able to
Yes.
share a bit of what happened to me and use now this wisdom to for other people.
So, Laura, is there any final message or piece of wisdom you'd like to share with the audience, on how to tackle the challenges which we face in our life on personal or professional level?
Yeah, I would say a couple of things. Yes, on a professional level, and I will say this whenever I go to work, is don't take things personal. Don't ever take things personal. Somebody's
Yes.
giving you rudeness. Is offering you rude words. That is showing you what that person is at that time with that mindset,
Yes,
with their
exactly.
emotions, right? So the truth is we have not been educated in emotions. So emotional
Yes.
intelligence is not there. So most of
Yes.
us don't know how to really manage or regulate our emotions.
Yes, and sometimes they are, it happens that people who remove their frustration on others, they are internally suffering through something, through trauma, past traumas or insecurities, inferiority complex. So all these issues they are facing. Hence, sometimes it get out from their mouths, or they just spill rude words. So this happens in many places. Yes,
Many places, and I love what you said. I think bringing that up because that is so important to realize that the person
yes,
who is giving you rudeness, that they are suffering inside. And
yes,
I
exactly.
think the best thing, yeah, the best thing we can do, and then this is what I always say as well, let's just be kind to each other because
Kind to each
everybody
other.
values
Yes,
something. So even though you're giving me a slap, I want to hug you because I know how you're feeling inside, or you may be feeling
yes,
inside. And
exactly.
yeah, and we at the same time, we kind of stop this cycle of continuing making each other suffer. You know what I
Yes,
mean?
and
Or
the revenge which people are into, taking revenge or giving it back,
yes,
it doesn't work at all. Yes,
it does not. I totally, yeah, it does not. It's if we really wanna, like, there are so many things happening out there in the world, and there's a reflection of the human being, the inner
yes,
state of the human being. We are at war with ourselves, and because this is
yes,
happening inside,
exactly,
we bring it out. So you wanna stop that? We gotta change inside. We gotta take a responsibility, accountability for who we are. And whenever this happens, then whenever you see this in somebody, you're gonna understand. You're gonna be like, yeah, I know. It's painful inside. Okay.
exactly,
I'll give you a hug, I'll give you water, I'll give you something, but I'm not gonna slap you back. I'm not gonna offer you like poisonous words.
or the best thing
But
which we can do is walk off or walk away silently, to not increase the, to not increase the war, to not increase the fights. That's the best way.
I agree. If you cannot, if you think there's one, if at the moment you cannot create an alquimia, meaning
Yes,
transform or help the other transform where they are, you are better to
yes,
walk away. Sometimes
exactly.
silence is better. Sometimes
That's
not
right.
better. Yeah. So yeah, do that, and please, that's the most important as well. I would say everything is important actually. But don't give up on yourself. Allow yourselves to be expressed, to explore who you are. Sometimes we believe, oh, this is who I am. Or we don't even know that this is the idea that I have of myself. So my life is on this only, you know what I mean? So don't get to explore myself. There's so many different other options or outlets. And we came here, we have this beautiful life to live. Let's
Exactly.
explore ourselves. Exactly. Fall in love with who you are. Fall in love. When you fall in love with who you are, means you found your realization of God, of source, of because this is what it is.
Exactly.
Loving who you are deeply, for real. And this is what you get to offer to the people, to everybody. Because you are that. You are love. Because that's what you feel inside.
Exactly. Yes. So thank you so much, Laura, for joining today's conversation. And it was so wonderful to have a chat with you on this platform. And the conversation was so fruitful. So I hope our audience, our viewers, will have a lot of, takeaways from this session. And thank you so much once again for joining this session and for
Thank
making it
you.
worth watching.
Thank you,
Thank you.
Rosa. Thank you very much for this opportunity again. And it was a pleasure to spend this time and this energy. And thank you for your presence as well. And for allowing me as well to express what I had to express as well.
Pleasure. Pleasure is always mine. Thank you so much. Yes.
Thank you.